We're going to look at how to create groups in It's Learning. All right, so I'm going to open up It's Learning. And so I'm just going to go to a course. So whichever course you're working on, then we're going to work in Miss E's course. To create groups, we're going to go over here on our menu options. We have Planner and Resources. I'm going to go to More. I'm going to go down to Course Groups. All right, so here you'll see I have no course groups yet. Yours will probably look similar, unless you've already created some. And it's pretty simple to follow along. You just hit Create, and there are 2 steps. The first one is to give it a title, so let's call these the Blue Barracudas. And then you click Next, and it pulls up, here's your participants list. So I have a lot of people in mine. I've got 3 pages of people in this course, because this is mostly a course of teachers. If you do have more than 1 page, I do recommend go ahead and change your view so that you can see everybody at once. Because if you try to add people from different pages, it loses the people you've checked off when you go from page to page. Most of your courses are probably only going to be 1 because you probably don't have more than 25 students. But if you have a lot of other co-teachers added in, it might get to be 2 pages. So now for this group, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to select the people I want to put in this group. So let's just use the check marks. And one thing I like to do is I like to add myself to every group. Just that as the teacher, yours will say students along here. This is just a class of all teachers. That way I can be in a group and monitor what's going on in each group. Because if you're going to use groups for assignments, which I'll show you in another video, if you're going to use these groups in assignments, one of the features of group assignments is a group-only chat feature. And so if I'm in each group, I can monitor that chat a little bit easier, especially for my upper grades, 4th and 5th graders. It's a good thing for me to monitor those kiddos. All right, so I've selected a couple people for this group, and I'm just going to go all the way down and click Complete. And then it shows I have a new group. These are the group members. And it's really easy. If you realize you forgot someone, I can easily go back in and add a participant. I can change the name of the group. I can, I didn't want to put this person in. I can just easily delete them. It gives you a little warning. Do you really want to remove them? I'm not going to. And then you have back to groups. And now I'll see I have 7 people in Blue Barracuda. So now I can create another group. Purple parrots. Sure. Same steps. I just hit next, go through, and now you can see this participant in this column. It now shows who was in that Blue Barracuda group and who's in no groups. And students can be in more than 1 group. I will say if you do more than 1 group and then do assignments, it gets a little confusing because then the student has to choose which group they're completing the assignment in. So we have found that with, I think it was one of my 5th grade classes was trying it. And if their students were in more than 1 group, they had a little drop-down menu and they had to pick. And they don't always pick the one you want them to choose. And then it's a little more confusing if you're going to do group assignments. But that's only really that feature. If you're doing it for other purposes, if you're not really using that group assignment feature, then they can be in more than 1 group and it should not mess with too much. So this is the second group. Let's pick some people who are not in a group. Again, I'm going to put myself in every group. She's already in a group, so I don't need to put her in there. And so again, if I had clicked on page 2, it would then lose everyone I had just selected, which is why I like to change the view. But I'm still going to have to go back and reselect. And complete. Now it shows me this group and back to groups. And so if at any time you ever need to change your groups, all you have to do is click on the group name and it pulls it up, and you can remove and add and edit the groups pretty easily. So that is creating your course groups.